Compassion for animals is intimately associated with goodness of character, and it may be confidently asserted that he who is cruel to animals cannot be a good man. For our improvement, we need a mirror. Compassion is the basis of morality. Will minus intellect constitutes vulgarity. It's a wise thing to be polite. Consequently, it's a stupid thing to be rude. To make enemies by unnecessary and willful incivility is just as insane a proceeding as to set your house on fire, for politeness is like a counter, an avowedly false coin with which it is foolish to be stingy. This world could not have been the work of an all-loving being, but that of a devil who had brought creatures into existence in order to delight in the sight of their sufferings. Religion is the masterpiece of the art of animal training, for it trains people as to how they shall think. I believe that when death closes our eyes, we shall awaken to a light of which our sunlight is but the shadow. Hope is the confusion of the desire for a thing with its probability. Life without pain has no meaning. Marrying means to halve one's right and double one's duties. Life is full of troubles and vexations that one must either rise above it by means of corrected thoughts or leave it. The majority of men are not capable of thinking, but only of believing, and are not accessible to reason, but only to authority. A man who has not enough originality to think up a new title for his book will be much less capable of giving it new contents. Life is short and truth works far and lives long. Let us speak the truth. Sleep is the interest we have to pay on the capital which is called in at death, and the higher the rate of interest and the more regularly it is paid, the further the date of redemption is postponed. It is easy to explain that man loves above everything else an existence which is full of want. Honor means that a man is not exceptional, fame that he is. Fame is something which must be won, honor only something which must not be lost. If children were brought into the world by an act of pure reason alone, would the human race continue to exist? Ordinary people merely think how they shall spend their time. A man of talent tries to use it. The truth can wait, for she lives a long life. If a man wants to go read good books, he must make a point of avoiding bad ones, for life is short and time and energy limited. Every child is in a way a genius, and every genius is in a way a child. Moroseness and melancholy are very opposite in nature, and melancholy is more nearly related to happiness than to moroseness. The will to live, which forms the innermost kernel of every living being, is most distinctly apparent in the highest, that is to say in the cleverest, order of animals. Our existence is based solely on the ever-fleeting present. Life is deeply steeped in suffering and cannot escape from it. The two enemies of human happiness are pain and boredom. The present may be compared to a small dark cloud driven by the wind over the sunny plain. A book can never be anything more than the impression of its author's thoughts. If suffering is not the first and immediate object of our life, then our existence is the most inexpedient and inappropriate thing in the world. Boredom is just the reverse side of fascination. Both depend on being outside rather than inside a situation, and one leads to the other. If there is no final end of striving, there is no measure and end of suffering. It is clear again to sacrifice pleasure in order to avoid pain. No man has ever felt perfectly happy in the present. If he had, it would have intoxicated him. Mostly it is loss which teaches us about the worth of things. It would be better if there were nothing, since there is more pain than pleasure on earth. No rose without a thorn, but many a thorn without a rose. Every separation gives a foretaste of death, and every meeting a foretaste of the resurrection. We seldom think of what we have, but always of what we lack. Therefore, rather than being grateful, we are bitter. For the world is hell, and men are on the one hand the tormented souls, and on the other the devils in it. A pessimist is an optimist in full possession of the facts. Any foolish boy can stamp on a beetle, but all the professors in the world cannot make a beetle. Man is the only animal who causes pain to others with no other object than wanting to do so. Intellect is invisible to the man who has none. If God made the world, I would not be that God, for the misery of the world would break my heart. Thinking must be kindled like a fire by a draught and sustained by some kind of interest in the subject. Talent hits a target no one else can hit. Genius hits a target no one else can see. Great men are like eagles and build their nest on some lofty solitude. Ignorance is degrading only when it is found in company with riches. A high degree of intellect tends to make a man unsocial.